to vote. That's what we're doing. Hi, more people. All right, those are my people. All right, I'm going to call to order this opening business to order at 4:30. What is it? 4:30, 4:34 on October 27th, 2022. So let's get down to business. The role of the convention governance in SPJ. Journalism. In 2011, delegates at the National Convention in New Orleans approved a bylaws change that transformed the way SPJ elects members of its national board. In the past, candidates were selected by chapter delegates. Now, elections are inclusive of all members, one member, one vote. However, the Society's process for bylaws amendments and resolutions have not changed. The main duties of the convention delegates are to consider important resolutions and bylaws changes. These are issues that will govern SPJ and help set its agenda for years to come. The bylaws of the Society require that the business meetings of the Society be run by the Robert's Rules of Order. In interpreting those rules, both today and during our closing business meeting, I will be assisted by our acting parliamentarian, Israel Balderas. Israel, please stand up. Wave to me.
Hello, everybody.
There he is. Thank you so much. As we get started today, I want to review the convention's voting procedures for bylaws, amendments, and resolutions. Voting is done by chapter regional delegates. Each chapter is good in standing with the national organization, receives votes based on one vote for each 50 chapter members, or fraction thereof. Regional delegates that represent unaffiliated members in each region are also calculated based on one vote for each 50 members, or fraction thereof. Each delegate has been given a voting card and the number of votes assigned to that specific delegate by their chapter. If any delegates did not receive a voting card or has a question about their status, see Linda Hall. Is Linda Hall here?
I think she's still at registration.
All right, she's still at registration. Who's handling the delegate process on the site this year. You will need your voting card during our next business meeting on Saturday. Also, before I got here, I had a message from Alex Duqueno, the head of the Bylaws Committee, and she said the Bylaws Committee has an update for the delegates. The committee has put the proposal to amend the bylaws into blocks for the delegates to discuss in the final business meeting on Saturday. They've added these to the page with the bylaws amendment, and we will send that link out at the end of the meeting. Even if you have been to this page before, please visit it as these have been recently added. The Bylaws Committee has an update for the delegates, and the committee has put the proposals to amend the bylaws into blocks. Did I just repeat that? I think she sent this twice. Well, it's always good to review. And so please look at that page, and thank you for the text. All right, the nominations report. Who am I listening to?
I was checking your sound is working.
All right. At this time, thank you, Zoe, appreciate it. At this time, I will present the nominees for the 2022-23 Board of Directors of the Society. You can read their full bios at SPJ Election Central or in the MediaFest 22 app, which is really nice. Some have submitted their campaign speeches to SPJ Election Central, and the candidate form is posted on our SPJ YouTube channel. All right. For president, we have two candidates. I don't know if you're here, but feel free to stand up if you like. Ashanti Blaze Hopkins. There you go. And Rafael Romero. There you go. Good luck. Secretary Treasurer, we have 2 candidates, Israel Valderas. There you go. And Michael Koretsky. I thought he was in here. Okay. He's here. At-large Director of the Society, we have 2 candidates. This year, 2 at-large directors will be elected to the board, serving a 2-year term. The candidates are, and again, please stand if you're here. Joe Radsky. There you go. Adam Sennett. Yep. Kevin Smith. That's Kevin. And Peter Zeke. Peter, there you go. Good luck. This year, 6 regions are having an election for regional coordinators via electronic ballot as well. Regional coordinators do not sit on the SPJ board of directors. Here we go. Region 1 coordinator has 1 candidate, and that is Chris Vaquero. Are you here? Here's Chris. All right.
Well, it's almost
It's all right. We don't like sound. Region 4 coordinator, 1 candidate, Ginny McKay. Ginny, there you go. Sorry you guys are in the dark, but we see it. And Region 5 coordinator, 1 candidate, Nicole DeCrisio. Did I got that right, Nicole? DeCrisio. My apologies. There you go. Stand up so they can see you, please. Thank you. Region 7 coordinator, we have no candidates. Region 8 coordinator, no candidates. And we do have a Region 9 coordinator, 1 candidate, Mackenzie Romero. Mackenzie? Maybe she'll make it later. In accordance with SPJ bylaws, all members of the society in good standing 7 days before the date and time balloting begins are eligible to vote for officers and at-large directors. Members will receive an electronic ballot via email at the close of today's business session. All right, do I have a motion to accept the committee's report of nominees? And please, Laura.
Lauren Bartlett, Region 11, so moved.
All right, Lauren Bartlett. And what about a second on that?
Don Myers, Region 10, I'll second.
Thank you, Don Myers from Region 10, he was second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wow, there's enthusiasm. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk about convention resolutions information. Your delegate information sheet contains information about submitting resolutions for consideration by the convention. Our resolutions committee chair is Michael Sabine. If you or your chapter has resolutions for consideration that have not already been submitted to the committee, please do so immediately. Send them as a Word doc to Michael. All right, I don't know if you guys are writing this down, but I'll go through it. Send them to michael.a.sabino@gmail.com before 8 p.m. tonight. Again, let me repeat that. michael.asabino@gmail.com. The resolutions proposal will be available afternoon Eastern Time Saturday. Delegates should stop by the MediaFest 22 registration desk to pick up a copy prior to voting during the business session. Saturday afternoon. Resolution proposals will also be available via the MediaFest 22 app. Again, a great app. All right, now this is the best part. Chapter of the Year Awards. Before we adjourn, I'd like to take a moment to present some special awards to our chapters around the country for their outstanding work. And this is what I call SPJ Chapter Strong. SPJ Circle of Excellence Awards honor chapters both large and small in 4 key categories. Listen closely. First Amendment and Freedom of Information activity. Campus relations and scholarship programs. Activities promoting diversity among journalists. And professional development and continuing education programs. I'm happy to announce the winners this year, and I hope you'll join me in applauding all of them for their fantastic work. To the winning chapters, please stand and be recognized as I call your name. Following the meeting today, please see Crystal and Keith to pick up your certificates. And are you waving to me for a reason back there? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I can't see you behind the mask, so I apologize. I'm sorry, you guys. She was waving, you were waving, and I have to acknowledge. All right, so for professional development and education, the Society recognizes the New York Gentlemen Club as the large chapter and SPJ Georgia Pro as a small chapter. The cultural training. Nice job. Very proud of you. In the category of freedom of information, the large chapter winner is San Diego Pro. And the small chapter winner is Utah Headliners. Fantastic work. Thank you so much. For special efforts in the area of diversity, we recognize a large chapter, San Diego Pro, is winner. And a repeat again, a small chapter, SPJ Georgia. Thank you. You know that's very close to my heart. Lastly, in the category of campus relations, the Society applauds the efforts of large chapter recipient, Press Club of Long Island. You know my husband's from Long Island. And the small chapter recipient, Greater Cincinnati Pro. All right. So each year the Society honors 2 chapters, a large chapter of 75 or more members, and a small chapter of fewer than 75, for the commitment to SPJ, mission and exceptional chapter program. Look, this chapter's just taking it away. I am pleased to announce that in the large chapter category, the 2022 chapter of the year is awarded to the San Diego Pro. Please make your way to the stage. Come on up. While I highlight just some of the great things the chapter has accomplished this year. You know, I'd like you to join me on the stage, please. Come on up. The large chapter of the year, San Diego Pro, hit it out of the park in the area of diversity, surveying newsrooms in the San Diego region to capture their demographic makeup. A challenging feat to accomplish because some of these newsrooms didn't want to participate. That sounds very familiar. But you know what, this chapter, they didn't give up. They didn't say, hey, we gotta know, we're not going to go on. They went on. The survey found that San Diego newsrooms are predominantly white and male, and there was a significant underrepresentation of Latino journalists in the San Diego press. In addition, less than half of the responding newsrooms employed a Black journalist, and only 2 newsrooms employed Native American journalists. The chapter published the survey results on its website and highlighted the importance of improving representation in the media. We're not stopping there. The chapter also hosted a public outreach panel titled About How to Media Cover Race. San Diego Pro's continued advocacy for freedom of information and open government over the reporting period also won its Circle of Excellence Award for First Amendment and FOI. Board members met with staff in the San Diego Mayor's office to discuss revising the city's email retention policy. The city made clear it would no longer sustain its policy of retaining emails indefinitely. The chapter's advocacy resulted in the city approving a 5-year policy, one of the longest retention periods in California. Board members of San Diego Police also to advise them on the implementing SB 98, a new law that guarantees journalists access to protest even when police have ordered them out of the area. The award-winning chapter completed 13 programs and projects, including a media literacy series with a panel on watchdog journalism, a discussion on identifying and combating disinformation, a seminar on covering healthcare, launched a mentorship program, and hosted its Wall, Window, and Sunshine Awards. Let's give the San Diego Pro Chapter a big round of applause. I'd like one of you to say a few words, please.
Thank you. We're extremely honored to accept this award. I know Jake and I are pretty new to the chapter, but we were inspired by a lot of work that has been done here. We were literally just talking about how San Diego sometimes feels like there's like a uniquely bad relationship with public records. And so the battle really never ends. And You know, when you're talking about representation, particularly of young Latino journalists, we are 15 minutes from the border. So there is just really no excuse there. And like I said, the work continues. And right now we're really trying to branch out and, you know, work with the Tijuana journalists in relations to the murders that have been happening there. A lot of my colleagues, like I have a colleague that works with me who lives over there. And so these issues are just very, very close to home. So we're really looking forward to continuing the work that we've been doing the past couple of years.
Where is the plaque, please?
Right on the table.
Oh,
Let's go get it.
let me see which plaque it is.
Round of applause.
Oh, that makes me feel good, yes. I'm sure you all know that my family is from Mexico. Whew. All right, here we go. So many chapters are just taking all away. In the small chapter category, the winner of the 2022 chapter of the year is SPJ Georgia. For the chapter 10 officers to the stage, please. Let me just tell you, this woman and her board also very hardworking, like many of you. And believe me, national does pay attention. The SPJ Georgia chapter hosted 2 events to educate people about the new Source of Color platform, which helps journalists diversify stories by providing a place to find reputable industry experts with voices from people of color. SPJ Georgia's MMJ Safety First program contributed to the chapter also winning the Circle of Excellence Award for Professional Talent. SPJ Georgia presented 2 sessions of this program and appealed to MMJ news directors, general managers, and journalists from other parts of the industry. Almost 130 people attended the first session from across the country. The panelists educated journalists on the legalities and ethics of keeping solo TV reporters safe. For the sessions, the chapter has worked closely with SPJ National, our national board. In fact, we did the town hall with the guidance of SPJ Georgia chapters. Out of this grew the task force, which she also heads the task force. And just recently, and I'm sure you heard, that we issued the first SPJ MMJ safety guidelines for TV stations around the country. You should be proud of SPJ members because there's 2 other organizations that represent MMJs, and we came out first. So be proud of what we do together with national and local. The chapter hosted 3 sessions. The chapter hosted 3 sessions on covering extremism, focused on the ethic of reporting on domestic extremist groups. SPJ Georgia's annual report said that this topic might seem to take a political stance if not written correctly. But the ethics of covering these groups is ultimately very clear. It is crucial to provide the community with knowledge of the group. It's essential for journalists to know if extremist groups or leaders exist in their coverage areas and to track their role in the community. Other highlights of SPJ Georgia 11 programs included an event that brought together local journalists and community organizers connected to the war in Ukraine and a partnership with the Georgia Public Safety Training Center to develop an online training course for law enforcement officials on interacting with the news media during times of civil unrest. Congratulations to the Georgia Pro chapter as they continue to produce great work. On behalf of SPJ and journalists everywhere, congratulations. Nicole Sartini, please step up and say a few words.
Thank you guys very much. And it's hard to follow. I would say the San Diego chapter, you guys did some great work on diversity, and as well as your other programs. I think it's really great to hear about all you guys did as well. But I'm really proud of the work that we did for MMJs in particular this year, that our work got national's attention and our suggestions were taken seriously by them. We were able to represent a group of journalists who really often, especially for younger journalists in the MMJ part of the industry often feel like they can't speak up about their safety in newsrooms, and we were able to advocate for them. So I'm really grateful that we're trusted with their voice and that Nashville listened to us. So thank you guys.
Isn't that inspiring? Look what our chapters do. When I took over as president, I said, you know, chapters have always been the backbone of communities. We're nothing without you guys. I've said it over and over again. We are nothing without our chapters. So remember that. I know they have membership issues, and I know the database is driving me nuts too. But remember, on the national level, the board, I know the foundation board feels the same way. You guys are it. You are what we call in Spanish, la sangre en el cuerpo. You are the blood in our body. Without the chapters, without the communities, we don't exist. So I want to tell you that as the president who's got one day left, we all appreciate it. And even if you don't win an award, you're already winners. And you know who else is a winner? The journalists in your neighborhood, the community that you educate. When I hear these programs about diversity, when I hear the programs of media literacy, when I hear the programs of, you know, high school programs being developed, that says that you guys are thinking beyond our own lives, because we're not going to live forever, but at least we leave our little mark. At least we leave our little energy. And that's what I say to all of you. Put your energy in something positive and productive. Leave your mark. I know I'm leaving my mark. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not, I know. So do that. By the way, that was not scripted. All right, let me go on. Let me see. Well, I would also like to take a moment to recognize the other outstanding chapters. And again, these are chapters that, man, if I could give a gazillion awards tonight, I would, but apparently I can only give away a few. They're not selected as chapter of the year, but their efforts are top notch. They're the best. The New York Deadline Club, thank you. Press Club of Long Island, thank you. Utah Headliners and Cincinnati Pro, thank you. They're among the list of chapters that went above and beyond Call of Duty and continue to do so. Again, it's what I call SPJ chapter story. Congratulations again to all our chapters on a fantastic year. To our finalists, please see Crystal O'Keefe. Where are you? Give me a wave here. She's in the back at the close of the meeting to pick up. All right, so now you have heard about the business items for consideration during this convention. Unless there are other business item introductions that should come before this opening session, we shall adjourn until Saturday afternoon. Anybody want to say something? You want to say something? Okay, you just give me a wave, that's nice. A glance at the program will show you that there are great things in store for the conference. The planning committee and the staff of SPJ, ACP, and CMA have worked incredibly hard to bring you training and networking opportunities. To be sure to take advantage of them. Let me just give a shout out to the staff. Okay, this is not scripted either. They have been in the transition. Our interim executive director, Jennifer Royer, when I asked her to take over, she jumped in, took over. That woman, I mean, I can't believe she's still awake back there in the corner. But please congratulate. Jennifer and I could write another book about surviving a convention. So thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much. You've done a great job. And your staff. I do not neglect your staff. All right, let me go back to my script. As a reminder, members in good standings of 7 days ago will receive an electronic ballot via email at the close of this meeting. Shall you have questions about the election process, your ballot, please see Ron Hicks or email election@spj.org, or there's Jennifer and her staff. Contact them, they're right here. I guess I'm supposed to give this phone number, but people don't. All right, write down this phone number, 317-954-0025. Apparently you can text over here for assistance. Let me repeat that one more time, 317-954-0025. All right, if you're serving as a chapter delegate, be sure to pick up your delegate information sheet at the registration desk in the expo hall. And we'll see you at the next business meeting at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Enjoy MediaFest. If you want to go to that opening, are you, yes?
One question about the delegate registration. I asked for that. Is it just the yellow slip? Is that all?
Right there in the corner, they can probably answer that question. Thank you. Did everybody hear a question? All right, if you need any questions, there's a staff right there. Thank you, Stacy, for going on. All right, you guys, if you want to go to the opening reception, head out there now. Because it's gonna be fantastic. Put on something really silly, I don't. All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn? All right, and then Lauren, number 2, of course, Lauren. And all those in favor say aye. Okay, enthusiasm, please.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Have a great